Coming up on the Talon News.
Both baseball and wrestling kick off their season.
Students, films, place, and state.
We get opinions on the mask mandate.
And this is a view from the nest. Hey Eagles, welcome to the Talon's broadcast, and I'm Sloan Dial.
And I'm Jacob Lorman.
This year, 2 of our UIL films have been able to make it to state with great success.
Ella Rader, Delaney Lekowit, and Riley Hawk talked to our state finalists.
We spoke with our UIL state finalists about the ideas behind their films.
The films competing in this year's UIL state film included Going Live and Senseless.
My film, Going Live, basically gets behind-the-scenes shots of what the crew does and the different thing that goes on during the live broadcast during football season.
My film Senseless was about a teenager with schizophrenia. We don't know that until the very end. His name's Evan, and it just follows him going through a early morning episode.
While producing and directing, the students learn a lot about what to fix in the future.
Okay, so what I learned was you don't have to use big fancy cameras to do stuff. We had a bunch of gear. None of it ended up working out, so we had to pull out our iPhones and just film it, audio and visually, from the phone.
Creativity in editing and filming tends to be the students' favorite part.
My favorite part about making this film was definitely being able to get the creative shots when filming.
Just the creativity we had to do or use to create it, because it is in such a small space. We had to use every angle possible, every cue possible. So
Sloan Dial explains how the inspiration from her film came to her in their own hard work.
My inspiration came from seeing how hard the crew worked from behind the scenes at the live broadcast for football season.
The editing process in the film is usually one of the hardest parts.
The hardest part about making this film was probably the editing, because I had so many things that I had to redo a bunch of different times.
I edited it and directed it, and so I had to do a lot of audio stuff to get it to where I wanted it to be. So that was probably the hardest part, was editing.
This has been Delaney Lekowit, Riley Hawk, and Ella Rader reporting for the Talon News.
Congratulations to Sloan Dial and Ryan Ruth for placing 3rd and 4th in their state films.
Starting their new season, both JV and varsity wrestling had a great start.
Josh Fritz, Bobby Bowling, Hallie Malpass, and I get an inside look. Argyle High School's wrestling meets have started this 2021 season, and they've had a great beginning.
Preparing for a match, normally I'll just kind of warm up a little bit, get a good stretch in, and then I just really mentally prepare. Everything's in my mind for me, and then I just go do what I gotta do.
Keep it to myself. Don't talk to anyone. Try to stay focused. Focus on the match.
Athletes explain what keeps them motivated to win the next match.
So my biggest motivation for wrestling is I really want to get that state championship, and that's what I'm just chasing after every day.
The athletes explain their biggest challenges and what they have to push through to keep them going.
My biggest challenge when it comes to wrestling is just going out there and doing my best no matter how I'm feeling every day.
My biggest challenge is staying focused on what I need to do to overcome everything I need to overcome, making weight.
When these athletes started wrestling, they slowly began to fall in love with the sport.
My dad made me start wrestling to get in shape for football, and then I just fell in love with the sport, and it's led me to here.
I wanted to start wrestling because my dad wrestled in high school, heavyweight, and Coach Petty really wanted me to do it, so I did it.
This has been Bobby Bowling, Josh Fritz, Hallie Malpass, and Sloan Dial reporting for the Talon News.
Be sure and support wrestling as they continue through their season.
Varsity baseball started their new 2021 season with a great start.
Owen Norkett and Jacob Stroop talked to some of the coaches involved.
With the baseball season starting to pick up, there are many questions regarding the remainder of the season and COVID. We asked the coaches of the team about the current season, COVID, and the impact of the pandemic on the sport as a whole over the past year.
The team is being held to the same standards as before, despite the circumstances.
This year is probably no different baseball-wise than it has been for the last several, and that is the expectations are to go to Austin, win another state championship, I think that, that's Argyle has high expectations, and I think that that's probably always expected.
I'm expecting the team to perform and succeed just like I've expected that from every other team before COVID situations happen. We expect to go out and when we go onto the baseball field, we expect to win every time we get out there.
Players are called to step up to the challenge when facing quarantines.
Quarantine, I think, may give someone else a chance to step up and see what they can do. I think that there's some district guidelines in place for quarantine as far as if players are missing or if there's a lot of them out, then there's procedures in place. But I think from our viewpoint as coaches that it will give somebody else possibly a chance to step up and show what they can do.
The coaches expect the season to play out in its entirety, as if it were a normal year.
I expect to play the whole season. The plan is for that to last until the middle of June, and I would think that just given a chance that it'll work out that way.
Be sure and cheer on baseball as they move through district games.
Earlier this month, our governor made some changes on the mask mandate.
Delaney Leckwit, Ella Rader, and Riley Hulk talked to AHS students about their thoughts on the topic.
We spoke to Argyle students about their opinions on the release of the mask mandate.
How do you feel about the change in the mask mandate?
I think it's definitely a big deal to just be able to go out and not wear a mask.
I'm very excited about not having to wear masks, because I don't like masks.
How do you feel about the recent change in the mask mandate?
I think it's good because it's starting to transition us back into how our lives used to be before everything happened.
I fully support it, and I think people should have the freedom to do what they want to do.
I'm pretty neutral about it. I mean, it's good to have safety, with the mask and, with my parents or anyone else that's older.
We spent so much time wearing a mask and now it's going to be gone. I feel pretty excited about it. I'm not sure how a lot of people feel about it, but I just hope that everyone still stays safe, uses common sense, and keeps everyone around them safe, especially their friends that still want to wear masks.
I like that we had some safety precautions at the beginning of the school year, but now I feel that since the vaccine is out that we should take off the mask mandate and just go mask free.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow us at The Talon News on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And for more stories following your life, visit www.thetalonnews.com.
Tune in next time as we discover Argyle one story at a time.